Namaste. Welcome to the third weekend of the 2020 Rasa Festival. My name is Sreyashi Dey, and I can't wait to tell you about the lineup we have for you today. Even through these difficult times, we are delighted to celebrate an incredible diversity of art forms and innovative works by dancers, musicians, writers, poets, photographers, designers, and filmmakers. We appreciate the work of each of the artists who have shared the beauty of their art with us during this festival. Kolkata, India-based dancer Priyadarshini Ghosh will kick off the weekend with her expressive dance in the Mohiniyattam style, choreographed on the poetry of Rabindrasangeet Tagore. Well-known designer Sunita Shankar will astonish you again with her fashion creations, inspired by some of the most amazing craft traditions of India. After that, I will continue my newly choreographed dance series on vintage songs written by my father, well-known poet Sreyashi Dey. It is my tribute to him and very close to my heart. Sudeshna, Basu and Manjula Kumar, both from Washington, D.C., will wrap up the day with the most beautiful music and spoken word performance. Please find the full calendar on our website, rasafestival.org. We hope to see you again tomorrow and the following week. Enjoy the show.
তখন চারিদিক থেকে শুনতে পাই, জয় পশুর জয়, জয় পশুর জয়। তখন পথের ধারের দিকে চাইলুম, চমকে উঠে দেখি ধুলোর মধ্যে একটি কাঁটা গাছ, তাতে একটি মাত্র ফুল ফুটেছে। আমি বলে উঠলুম, হায় রে হায়, ওই তো পায়ের চিহ্ন।
ভাঙলো ঝড়
জানি নাই তো তুমি এলে আমার ঘরে, যে রাতে মোর দুয়ার খুলি ভাঙলো ঝড়ে। জানি নাই তো তুমি এলে আমার ঘরে, যে রাতে মোর দুয়ার খুলি ভাঙলো ঝড়ে। Thy intimate gifts come to me only on these very small hands of mine. Ages pass and still thou pourest, and still there is room to fill. মন কথা, speaking from the heart. Why do I dance? Because I do not know what it is not to dance. Dance is within me, manifesting outside. It emerges from my innermost feelings and thoughts as a creative process, speaking my thoughts. This piece talks about my basic belief of life, that it is a cycle of pain and pleasure, of destruction and renewal. And in these difficult times, believing in this thought gives me great courage. And to depict that, I have drawn on the words of the great poet Rabindrasangeet Tagore, both his poetry and his song. And I express this destruction followed by renewal in my Mon Katha.
Greetings. I'd like to share with you my experience and my journey of working with a particular craft that my work is synonymous with. It's bandhani from Kutch. Bandhani or bandage is a technique of, ancient technique of tie-dye. It is a resist dyeing process or technique that creates dotted patterns of design. But for me, I see it to be a simple textile art of striking beauty. The finest bandhani is done or found in Kutch in Gujarat. Primarily, the color schemes have been red, white, black, and yellow. But use of vibrant Indian colors are also very popular. So how does bandhani work? There is normally, or usually there's a master dyer who prints the impression of the desired design on the textile. And he then distributes that to the women in the village
of Kutch. The women are actually the backbone of the craft. So the women in spare time are tying the knots or doing the bandhani in the vicinity and the comforts of their home. This is so pertinent in today's time when most of us are working from home. My association with Kutch began in 2003 when I was selected to be one of the designers by the Ministry of Textiles to work in the area with the craft clusters. This was an initiative for helping the clusters after the devastations of the earthquake in 2001. For me, it was a beginning of a very long journey and an association, and especially with bandhani. So what was so great about bandhani for me? It provided me and gave me the freedom to explore, to adapt, and to create new designs for a contemporary range of clothing or product with a universal appeal. And I remember launching my first collection using bandhani craft in my work in 2004. It's then that I resolved that I wanted to do garments only using the bandhani textiles and all the craft. Well, it was a bold decision because it wasn't easy at all. I faced my fair share of challenges and obstacles. Firstly, I was novice in the field of working with the craft like bandhani, and so there were many trials and errors, but eventually I found my rhythm with the craft. But there was also a challenge of creating something new now and then, and every season, every year, which I really had to work on because I felt that the versatility of the craft allowed me to explore and design something new, come up with something new now and then. But the bigger challenge was to retail from stores and boutiques to convince them to retail bandhani-based clothings, crafted clothings, season after season. It was met with fair share of reservations and of course apprehension. But the most important thing I felt was I would try to make both stores and the client to understand and rather educate them that clothing made with incorporation of bandhani craft was equally labor intensive as well as time intensive as any other hand embellished craft. So one needed to give the due to the craft itself. That was bandhani. It took me a long time, patience and resilience, and really good amount of hard work for the acceptance. But I think that for any traditional craft practice to flourish, it is important for it to be understood, to be appreciated, and definitely to be supported. I think we all need to support our crafts community, the artisans. After all, the artisans are the torch bearers and the doers of our traditional craft practices and rich cultural heritage. So for me, I'm always trying to build a synergy between the craft practices and the design intervention or innovation within the craft context or the constraints of the craft. Design interventions are very important. It helps to develop craft, or it also is important because it does upgrade skills. Secondly, the design interventions aids in creating new products, which is very important for relevance of any craft. And the most important thing, it generates employment. And we have to also understand the young craftsmen or artisans today are so aspirational. They look for a better life. Why did I work with Bandhani, or how did I work with Bandhani, is a pertinent question, because Bandhani was one craft that lent itself with utmost ease and exuberance in my work. So to work with this craft was quite exciting. I mean, as I mentioned, it allowed me to explore, design. So it was like creating a single motive, or placement of motive in my work, or placement of designs, combining it with dip and dye. There were so many possibility. It allowed me the various options to create new work and new design. I think the simple use of a single motive that I'm known for just enhances any design. So it really just added to it. I was able to create a very contemporary clothing line and product, and which definitely had an element of style. That was definitely one way of working in a minimalistic manner or fashion. The other was the innate Indian sensibility in me of using bright, vibrant colors, of rich red, Indian pink, orange, yellows. So I worked with traditional Bandhani designs or created new ones. And hence it lent it to a great sensibility of working with saris, kurtas, Indian wear, tunics. I think in all that this craft it gave me the freedom to explore. And it is within the context of the craft. Today, when I see the craft has actually flourished, I mean, I've seen it evolving, and now it's really well established in the sense that it's one of the most popular craft. There are many young designers who are working with Bandhani, and I think it is very satisfying journey of mine. It is not about what I've contributed to the craft, but I think it is how the craft has enriched my work and me and my life.
This week, I will continue with the second part of my new three-part dance series, my tribute to my father, Sreyashi Dey, a well-known and much published Bengali poet, lyricist, essayist, and columnist. As I mentioned last week, at this time, despite the vast physical distance between us, with him in Kolkata, India, and me in Ann Arbor, Michigan, we have found great joy, meaning, and excitement over the artistic connection while creating this series. During the choreography process, I have discovered many nuances in the dance interpretations of these old songs that I grew up listening to, and for my father, it has been a bittersweet walk down memory lane. It is a great honor for me to have this opportunity to pay this tribute to my father and his life's work, and also to share it with all of you. Today, I start with Poth Ar Koto Dur, written by my father, poet Sreyashi Dey, when he was just a graduate student in Kolkata's premier Presidency College, but already a name to reckon with in the world of Bengali poetry and literature. It embodies the spirit and tempo of the relentless onward journey of life, amidst pleasure and pain, ups and downs. The traveler at life's crossroads reflects on how far the destination and how long the road ahead is to reach the cherished horizon where the blue sky and the sea meet. The traveler travels along lush mango groves, jamun and palash trees, through fields of green grass on which the morning dew sparkles against the soft silken sunshine. But what pleasure does all this hold without the beloved as a companion? The greenery turns pale yellow, the moon is dull, and life rendered meaningless in the desolation of isolation. This song was composed and sung by a newcomer at that time, Nochiketa Ghosh, who later became a legendary music director in the field of modern Bengali songs. I have interpreted this song as a metaphor for life's and one's inner journeys, with many stages, obstacles, ebbs, and flows. Also with the quality of translucence and many shades of light and dark. Symbolically, this is what my visual design for the dance choreography also reflects. Interestingly, in addition to the usual dance choreography, these extraordinary circumstances have pushed me to venture into visual design and video, and I'm thankful for the new challenges and learnings. Poth Ar Koto Dur.
পথ আর কত দূর, পথ আর কত দূর, সাগরের কোল ঘেঁষে আকাশে যেথায় মেশে ধুধু করে নীল জল অথই সমুদ্র। পথ আর কত দূর, সাগরের কোল ঘেঁষে আকাশে যেথায় মেশে ধুধু করে নীল জল অথই সমুদ্র। পথ আর কত দূর। আম জাম জারুলের পলাশ ও পারুলের বন ছেড়ে চলে আসি, হাওয়ায় উড়িছে ভাসি কি নরম রোদ্দুর। আম জাম জারুলের পলাশ ও পারুলের বন ছেড়ে চলে আসি, হাওয়ায় উড়িছে ভাসি কি নরম রোদ্দুর। ধুধু করে নীল জল অথই সমুদ্র। পথ আর কত দূর, সাগরের কোল ঘেঁষে আকাশে যেথায় মেশে ধুধু করে নীল জল অথই সমুদ্র। পথ আর কত দূর। সবুজের লেখা সাজ যেন আজ গেছে মরে, শুধু চাঁদ হারা ব্যথায় আকাশ দিতেছে ধরে সবুজের হেতা সাপ যেন আজ গেছে মরে শুধু চাঁদ হারা ব্যথায় আকাশ দিতেছে ধরে ভাবি আর কতদিন চলবো তুমি ছাড়া এই পথ বলো কত বন্ধু ভাবি আর কতদিন চলবো তুমি ছাড়া এই পথ বলো কত বন্ধু শুধু করে নীল জলই সমুদ্র পথ আর কত দূর সাগরের কোল থেকে আকাশে পায় মেতে শুধু করে নীল জলই সমুদ্র পথ আর কত দূর পথ আর কত দূর পথ আর কত দূর
The next song I present is Dhushar Godhuli, a song that paints a picture of a melancholy evening in an Indian village when dusk descends with lengthening misty shadows and the darkness of nightfall approaches. Birds fly back to their nests. The village ladies light the ritual lamps on the sacred Tulsi altar. A solitary flutist plays his soulful tunes, exuding the pathos of his passion for his faraway soulmate. In this backdrop of the setting sun, the poet pens his thoughts, portraying his pain of separation and pining for union with his loved one. This song was an instant hit, creating a threefold record when it was published. By then, my father had moved to Delhi from Kolkata, so it was a long-distance composition written and sent by my father on request from Delhi, sung by a debutante young singer in her teens, Nirmala Mishra, who became one of the top singers in her later career. Interestingly, this song was composed by, again, a first-time music director, Shoilin Mukherjee, who after this maiden venture became immensely popular. Dhushar Godhuli.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Sudeshna. I'm very grateful to Sreyashi, the director of Akshara Arts, to invite me and my co-artist Manjula Kumar to be part of this year's prestigious Rasa Festival. And Rasa Festival is very well known for cultural programs which are beyond boundaries. So we have chosen three different poems of Rabindranath Tagore from his book Gitanjali, or the Song Offerings, and we have knit together a piece where we have these three poems combined with music which is also composed by him. We also kept in mind the difficult time that we are going through now. So to address that, we have chosen three songs and three poems which talks about the gratefulness, the simple pleasures of life, and the fulfillment of the quiet and solitude in our lives. Manjula and I recorded the whole project outdoors in Washington, D.C. And it gave us so much pleasure to be outside. So when we did the final version, we decided to retain the natural sounds that we are hearing, the rustling of the leaves, the wind blowing. So I hope all of you enjoy that too with us. And I also thank our friend Rishi Das, who did the excellent videography for us. Thank you all of you, and thanks especially to Sreyashi for including us in this beautiful festival, the Rasa Festival. Thank you.
When the heart is hard and parched, come upon me. Come upon me with a shower of mercy. When grace is lost from life, come with a burst of song. When tumultuous work raises its din on all the sides, shutting me out from beyond. Come to me, my Lord. Come to me, my Lord of silence. Come to me with thy peace and rest. When my beggarly heart sits crouched up in a corner, break open the door, my King, and come with thy ceremony, the ceremony of a king. And when desire blinds the mind with delusion and dust, O thou Holy One, thou wakeful one, come to me with thy light and thy thunder.
জীবন যখন শুকায় যায় করুণা ধারায় এসো সকল মাধুরী লুকায় যায় গীত সুধারসে এসো জীবন যখন শুকায়ে যায় করুণা ধারায় এসো কর্ম যখন প্রবল আকার গরজে উঠিয়া ঢাকে চারিধার হৃদয় প্রান্তে হে জীবননাথ শান্ত চরণে এসো জীবন যখন শুকায়ে যায় করুণা ধারায় এসো আপনারে যাবে করিয়া কৃপা কোনে পড়ে থাকে দিনহীন মন দুয়ার খুলিয়া হে উদারুণা রাজ সমারোহে এসো বাসনা যখন বিপুল ধুলায় অন্ধ করিয়া অবধে ভুলায় ওহে পবিত্র ওহে অনিদ্র রুদ্র আলোকে এসো জীবন যখন শুকায়ে যায় করুণা ধারায় এসো
This is my delight, thus to wait and watch at the wayside, where shadow chases light, and the rain comes in the wake of the summer. Messengers with tidings from unknown skies greet me and speed me along the road. My heart is glad. My heart is glad within, and the breath of the passing breeze is sweet. From dawn till dusk, I sit here. I sit here before my door, and I know that all of a sudden the happy moment will come. The happy moment will come when I shall see you. But in the meanwhile, I smile and I sing. I sing all alone. In the meantime, the air is filled with the perfume of promise.
আমার এই পথ যাওয়াতে আনন্দ খেলে যায় রৌদ্র ছায়া বর্ষায় আসে বসন্ত আমার এই পথ যাওয়াতে আনন্দ কারাই সমুখ দিয়ে আসে যায় খবর নিয়ে বসে রই আপন মনে বাতাস বহে সুমন্দ আমার এই পথ যাওয়াতে আনন্দ সারাদিন আঁখি মেলে দুয়ারে রব একা শুভক্ষণ হঠাৎ এলে তখনই পাবো দেখা ততক্ষণ ক্ষণে ক্ষণে হাসি গায় আপন মনে, ততক্ষণ রহি রহি ভেসে আসে, ভেসে আসে সুগন্ধ আমার এই পথ যাওয়াতে আনন্দ, আমার এই পথ যাওয়াতে আনন্দ।
No more noisy loud words. No more noisy loud words from me, and such is my Master's will. Henceforth I will deal in whispers. The speech of my heart will be carried on in the murmurings of a song. Men hasten to the king's market. All the buyers and sellers are there. But I have my untimely leave in the middle of the day, in the thick of work. Let then the flowers come out in my garden, though it is not their time, and let the midday bees strike up their lazy hum. Many an hour have I spent in the strife of the good and the evil. But now it is the pleasure of my playmate of the empty days to draw my heart onto him, and I know not why. I know not why is this sudden call to what useless inconsequence.
কোলাহল তো বারণ হলো, এবার কথা কানে কানে, এখন হবে প্রাণের আলাপ, কেবলমাত্র গানে গানে। কোলাহল তো বারণ হলো, রাজার পথে লোক ছুটেছে, বেচা কেনার হাঁক উঠেছে, আমার ছুটি অবেলাতে বিন্দুপুরের মধ্যখানে কাজের মাঝে ডাক পড়েছে, কেন যে তা কে বা জানে। কোলাহল তো বারণ হলো, মোর কাননে অকালে ফুল উঠুক তবে, মঞ্জরিয়া মধ্য দিনে মৌমাছিরা বেড়াক মৃদু গুঞ্জরিয়া, মন্দ ভালোর দ্বন্দ্বে খেটে গেছে তোদিন অনেক কেটে, অলস বেলার খেলার সাথী এবার আমায় হৃদয় টানে, বিনা কাজে ডাক পড়েছে, কেন যে তা কে বা জানে। কোলাহল